Welcome back to Black Butler Anime Review Part 4. This one I'm reviewing the third season of Black Butler, Book of Circus, and the two-part OVA Book of Murder. Yeah, some of you might be asking, where is my Santa hat? In the dryer. Because it got wet on coming home from work today. That is the gist of it. Why I'm not wearing my Santa hat right now. I'll probably wear it by the time I wear my next video. Now, here's the thing about this particular season, the third season of the show. It is actually canon. Yes, though, if you watch the narrative-wise, it ignores all the filler stuff. Everything filler related to the show has been completely... They ignore all the filler that the show had. Yes, the first episode is a loose adaptation of Chapter 23, which, I gotta say, yeah, it's a pretty good adaptation of it. Like the various characters doing mischievous things, like Maylin putting too much detergent because of her poor eyesight. The gardener, I think his name is Finian, he kind of ruined the roses. Yeah, he kind of turned up the heat in the greenhouse a little too high. And the chef pretty much nearly ruined meat. But they were fixed, no problem. Yeah. And the thing is, the guests they brought over, of course, they had the whole tower champagne thing, that is from the manga. Yes. Now, the only thing they don't have in here is they don't have the scene when they have the Indian prince and his butler show up and him offering to stay with him until they become managers of the townhouse. That's actually explained in the next episode. Yep. The whole point of this episode is the guest he invited was a guy Cecile was planning to have arrested anyways for one, attempting to murder him, and he succeeds. And of course, Sebastian takes 50 guys in a matter of just 20 minutes. Pretty simple. Of course, he gets arrested, gets thrown out the jail. Yep, and this character is never mentioned again. Pretty much from episode 2 up until the final episode, episode 10, it's the entire Circus arc. Which, it does not finish adapting the arc. No, it doesn't. Yeah, for some reason, and this is nothing unusual, this is probably like the second time this has happened in the series, when they adapt an arc from the manga, they don't finish it. Yes, for some reason, they did not adapt Chapter 37. I don't know why, it's so bizarre. I mean, like, sure, 37 is just the introduction to a tailor who gives Cecile a new outfit, which, of course, Sebastian has to hide Cecile's mark on his back, which, by the way, this season actually fixes that problem that the first two seasons had, where it was actually like right near his side. Yeah, it was like on his I think it was on his left side in the front. Now, from what I remember in the manga, that is not the correct place where that's supposed to be. It's supposed to be on his back, and thank God this season bothers to fix that problem. I'm sure a lot of people have pointed that out about when it comes to this particular show, that they made a big error by having the mark that Cecile had appear on his front rib cage instead of being on his lower back like it's supposed to be. It's like, man, they fixed a lot of the problems that the show had. And also, and this is my personal theory, it's probably the same thing what happened with High School DxD Season 4, where the writer of the manga probably told A1 Pictures, read this arc and then adapt it. Yeah, he probably told him to basically read this one, the following arc, which was the Fantasy Merc, so we'll get to that in a minute, and of course the arc that came right after that, which was the Luxury Line arc, which was adapted into the film, which I'll talk about that in the next part. Simply put, mostly when it comes to this particular arc, no really major change, except I think they did cut out one line of dialogue. Now, they introduced a bunch of new characters for this particular arc. Oh, and by the way, all these new characters die by the time this season is over with. Yeah, all the new characters we bring in, yeah, they all die. And also, yes, in the second time in the anime, Sebastian has sex with a woman. Yep. In the first season, it was a nun. This season, it's a beast tamer. A smoking hot woman. And this did happen in the manga. Him seducing her to get her mind off the guy she was in love with, a guy named Joker, mind you, who was basically in this stuff voiced by one of my favorite dub actors, Matthew Mercer. And in case you're wondering, because it's Funimation, is Christopher Sabat in this series? Yes, he is. He voiced a big hulking guy, which, not surprising, as that's what Christopher Sabat is known for doing. Voicing big hulking guys a lot of the time. And his name is... Where is his name here? It is... Jumbo. Yeah, he's the fire breather. Yep, they have a few other members. Now, there is a character named Baron Calvin. If I remember reading from the manga, there was a real-life Baron Calvin, but he was nothing like the way he is presented in the anime. Yeah, they introduced several other characters in this particular season that are nothing like they were in real life. Baron Calvin is voiced by Mike McFarlane. Yeah, I've seen him in a few works. Yeah, he voiced Gene Havoc from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. In Dragon Ball, in the Dragon Ball Z franchise, he voiced Master Roshi and Yajirobe. Yeah, in GT, he voiced Baby. Yep. In One Piece, Buggy the Clown. Yep. In Yu Hakusho, he voiced a few characters there. And in Attack on Titan, he voiced Gene, the rival of the main character. And he's also in My Hero Academia as Mashiro Ajiro. I'm not really sure what this one. Let me take a look and see who he is. Let's see what he looks like. Yeah, he's also in RWBY. There's a character known as Doctor. Yeah, I'm not familiar with his dub actor, Alex Organ. Beast, that's really her name. Voiced by Tila Bellard. Yeah. Yeah, another series that she's been in. Fairy Tail fans, she's the voice of Happy. From Rosario First Vampire, she voiced Missouri, if I remember, she's the Snow Woman. From Alchemist Brotherhood, she voiced Xiao Mei. Let's see. Attack on Titan, she voiced a character named Hannah. Let's see. I'm looking at her stuff right now. In Super, she voiced Marin, the daughter of Krillin. In My Hero Academia, she voiced a character named Ragdoll. And that's it. Oh yeah, basically this woman voices the character whose codename is Tail. Yep. There is Dagger, who is a knife thrower. He's voiced by Michael Shermachik. I'm not familiar with this guy. Peter, which I think Peter Wendy is actually a nod to Destroy Peter Pan, with them being acrobats. Peter is voiced by Mick Manalia, who is known for being the voice of Eric Alrig from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Yep, the guy who hates being called short. He was also Yu Hakusho as Yoshima and Boo. Let's see. Other series I watched with him in it. He was Ikaku in Bleach. So yeah, he's done both Funimation and Viz Media. He was in Soul Eater, played Spirit Abram. In One Piece, he voiced Sabo and Watun. Let's see, Naruto Shippuden, he voiced Nagato and young Obito. And yeah, and Megazord from One Punch Man, and Mard Gear from Fairy Tail, and Gappa from Super. Yeah, there's also a character named Doll, who also plays this boy named Freckles. Yeah, and the way that she reveals that Freckles is Doll, it's like, okay, it's like it drags him away because, well, she's one of the younger members of the group. And she even has Cecile touch one of her breasts, and in the manga, it was kind of implied he wanted her to see her panties. I'm not kidding about that. That's seriously what she did. Now, she looks like she's about 15, 16-ish. A lot of the other members look like they're probably in their 20s. And she was kind of referred to as the little sister. And she also had part of her hair covering her eye. Yeah, because she was disfigured when she was younger. Yep. And what is the circus plan? Kidnap children. The purpose of the children. Now, the troupe never found out until Joker was the one who found out the purpose of these kidnapped children. Yeah. The reason is, and it's quite sick of the reasoning for it, they want to use the bones of children to make prosthetics. I am not kidding about this. This is even true from the manga. Heck, Baron Kelvin, when they show his mansion, the guy is creepy, and the guy apparently wanted to become handsome, despite the fact he was pretty much dressed like a normal English gentleman, and he had the regular facial hair. Apparently, he didn't like that, so his wife left him. I don't know if he had actual children, and he also had sort of an orphanage. He found these kids at. He found these people on the street, sort of adopted them. Yeah, and oh yeah, by the way, after this arc, it's never revealed what happened to the Noah's Ark Circus. Yeah, after the first Shrinkers were all killed, yeah, it's like, okay, what the heck happened to them? And it turns out that in the course of Sealer's investigation, he finds that William T. Spears, the Grim Reaper from the Red Butler arc, he comes back, well, in canon-wise, though he did appear in a lot of filler stuff, and the creepy, and the gay Grim Reaper, Grell, which they say, oh yeah, he's on suspension, even though that in the previous season he wasn't at all. Yeah, the anime is trying to ignore the filler stuff so badly. Yep, so he gets out, gets his chainsaw back, collects all the souls. Oh yeah, and he even gets jealous over Sebastian sleeping with Beast. Yes, because he finds it through her memories, because the cinematic film, which is this cinematic memory, which basically is a film that comes out of her body. Yeah, when they show how show her cinematic memory comes out of her chest for some reason. I don't know why. It was particularly very bizarre. Even the manga was bizarre as well. Yeah, and he gets upset over Beast and Sebastian having sex. Yep, when he found out, he got upset by it. He's like, I want to see my Bassie. Yes, that's what he calls Sebastian. Bassie. And how were the members killed off? Well, Joker, of course, let's see. He gets his arm chopped off by Sebastian, and then Sebastian kills him, kills the Doctor, kills Baron Calvin, and he also kills Doll in the Orders of Cecile. Pretty much because I think that Cecile really had no choice but to kill her. Despite the fact this woman was very nice to her. Very nice to him. And of course, this woman also had slept in the same bed as him. No, they did not have sex. They just simply slept in the same bed. And Sebastian will point out to Cecile, it's like, I'll keep your indiscretion a secret from Lady Elizabeth. You know, sleeping in the bed with another woman. I thought that was so funny, the fact he brought that up. Now, how were these members killed off? Well, Jumbo was killed by being thrown into a wall. Wendy and Peter, well, he's thrown into the wall by Finian. Wendy and Peter are killed by being shot in the head by Ming Ray, by having a bunch of rifles positioned on the roof of the Phantom High Manor. Let's see. Dagger is killed by a Gatling gun protecting Beast. Beast is killed in an explosion. Yeah, she's killed in a freaking explosion. Yeah, while blowing up the kitchen. Let's see what else. Yeah, so after all the members are killed off, with the exception of Snake, he's the only one who's not killed. Yeah, he was a new character introduced in this very arc. He comes back in the next as well. He's pretty much there for the rest of the series. Snake, of course, is a new character. He is voiced by an actor named Spike Spencer. Yep. Yeah. Aside from this series, the only other series I've seen this guy in, let's see. Of series I have watched, this is the first one. The guy's a really damn good voice actor. Very deep voice and stuff like that. Yeah, and of course, Baron Calvin's mansion's burned down along with the kids, which Cecile basically determined because they were too far gone to be recovered. So he had all the children die. Even though the Queen specifically instructed him to save all the children. Yep. Kind of weird, isn't it? Yep. And then pretty much like at the conclusion of this arc, we jump straight to the Book of Murder thing. Now, the aftermath of what happened after this, after all the damage on Dimension, yeah, that chapter was never adapted. No idea why, it just wasn't. Phantom Hive Murders, basically Book of Murders. This is a fun little murder mystery thing where we have these various individuals gathered at Cecile's mansion. One, of course, is a guy named Carl Woodrow, and he's voiced by David Wade. Awesome dub actor. We also have Lau and Raymond. Let's see. We also have Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is before he started his famous career as a writer for Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, he's probably one of like 3 people in this particular arc who actually is a real life person. The other, of course, is a double Charles Gray, and who was the other one? It was Charles Gray and Charles Phillips. Charles Gray is voiced by Clifford Chapman, and Charles Phillips is known as the Brandon Porter. And from what I looked up here, yeah, these 2 are real life people. Yep. Yeah, these are real life people who did work for the Queen. So, yeah, 3 people in this arc who actually are real life people. Good murder mystery, 3 people get killed, one of course was Sebastian, though. I know he's still alive because he's basically the sort of like the main image people look up when people think of the Black Butler franchise. Yeah. Also, when Cecile looked like he was going to be killed by a snake, and of course they have Raymond put on his clothes. I thought it was so hilarious when it was after the 3rd murder happened, and we have Lau and Raymond basically rummaging through Cecile's clothes like, man, you have some damn good clothes. And of course they had this outfit which is for a Chinese woman. Yeah, I thought that was so funny, the fact he had that. And of course Raymond put on his clothes. And then she does something I kind of forgot this happened. Like after she sees Cecile's live and Wells, like happens to see like there, she hugs him by bringing his face to her chest. Just like in Cecile in Wonderland, though this time is actually I kind of forgot this part happened, but I thought this was so funny. So she's not the only character I've seen do this. Nami from One Piece has done this. Rangiku from Bleach. Let's see, who else has done this? Top of my head, let's see. We have Urza from Fairy Tail has done this. This is from shows I've watched. I think that's it. Just a handful of women are known for doing this, but having people like bring their head. Oh yeah, like half the women in High School DxD did this to the main character. And heck, even some of the characters from Rosario Vampire have done this too. So yeah, nothing unusual here. It's a fun little murder mystery, and they explain pretty well later on. And I gotta say, this is probably the first arc since the first arc. They actually adapt all the chapters. They didn't skip the last one. They adapted every single one, which I got high praise for. There's no real alterations from the manga. I think, unlike with Circus, I think they alter a couple of lines. They take out a couple lines dialogue. Mostly both that arc and this one are very much intact, and I do highly praise the anime for doing that. Though I still don't like the fact they skipped over chapter 37, which introduced the Taylor character, which from what I've heard does make her first ever appearance outside the manga in the animated film. Now I should point out though that this particular season was released a little over 3 years. Yeah, it was like 3 years and 3 months after the conclusion of season 2. Yeah, season 2, the final episode for that was released in... Actually, no, it was actually 4 years. Well, yeah, this was actually the first thing in a little over 3 years. But the second season ended in 2010. Yeah, it had been almost 4 years since the last season ended. So, they bring the series back. It's back for 10 episodes, and then it ends. Yep. And then pretty much the OVA came out like 1 month afterwards. And then part 2 came out roughly like after that. The anime film was released like a little over 2 years later. Which I'll discuss that in part 5. Otherwise though, fantastic season. Love the season's fantastic. The OVA was really good. There's a fun little murder mystery. And I gotta praise the dub actors. They did a fantastic job with it. Also, Snake comes back in this one and they don't mention what his job is in the anime. They actually cut out that line. In the manga, he was hired to be the Phantom Hive footman. Yep. And Cecile lies to him about the fate of the first string troop. The first stringers from the Noble Circus. It's unknown what happened to the Circus, because the manga didn't bother to reveal what happened to them, And the anime doesn't mention it at all. Like, what happened to the troop after the first singers basically were all killed. Or at least when they all disappeared. It's hinted at that they disbanded, but it's completely unknown what happened to the circus. Yep. But fantastic nonetheless. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned. Maybe later on today or tomorrow I might talk about the animated film. And then, of course, I'll talk about the live-action film. I may also try and get a chance to hopefully do the review of the newest episode of JoJo's Adventures. Okay, I'll see you next review. Bye.